Arsenal, having lost their last 10 Premier League games against Man City, they are up and running tomorrow to see to it that they really find themselves into the best books of history, to see to it that they really put this long losing run to an end. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And I'm here to bring you the Arsenal versus Man City match preview. And on your left, you're going to see these teams that we did in the match preview. Sorry, that we did in the predicted starting 11s of both teams, sliding that side, and you'll be letting me know who do you think should start and who do you think shouldn't start. But obviously, it's a Tuesday and the game is going to be played tomorrow. We are waiting for the Mikel Arteta press conference to react to it and that of Pep Guardiola ahead of this enticing fixture of Arsenal versus Man City. It's the talk of town. It's the talk of the world. Everywhere you go, it's Arsenal, Man City. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, as we get into the match preview to break it down, that is the predicted starting 11 of Arsenal that really came up with. Ramsdale in goal. I had Tomiyasu, right back. Left back Zinchenko. Central defense Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. Thomas Partey, Odegaard and Grant Xhaka, midfield 3. Then Trossard, Nketiah Eddy and Saka Bukayo. That is the starting 11 for team of Arsenal in a system of 4-3-3. That is it as how we came up with. Let's go to Cities and see who do we think is going to start for City. The system is going to be 4-3-3 for City, and they'll be having Ederson in goal according to me. Kyle Walker right back, left back Nathan Ake, central defense Ruben Diaz and Emmanuel Akanji. Then the midfield 3, it's going to be Rodri according to me, Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan. The front 3, I put Julian Alves ahead of Haaland, but according to the news coming in from Man City, looks like Haaland took part or participated in the training session at City, and now he might be fully fit to play or face Arsenal. Then Riyad Mahrez, right forward, left forward, Jack Grealish. Those are my predicted starting 11s, and that's how they really came in through, and I think they are going to be sliding throughout this entire video. Now, Arsenal are facing a team that they are winless against in the last 10 Premier League games. That is really worrying for a team which goes by names of Arsenal. And Arsenal have lost their last 8 Premier League games against reigning champions, conceding at least 2 goals each time. 6 of those are versus Man City. The last victory was a 1-0 over Leicester City in 2017. That is Arsenal for you. So, looks like history is not on the side of Arsenal. But if at all you've been watching this game of football very well, last season on New Year's Eve, I think, was it 1st or 31st of 20, as we are entering 2022, Arsenal played City very, very well. Arsenal had chances to score against City at the Emirates, but they couldn't score. Close to 2 penalties were denied by the referee, and VAR never really went in through to give them a look. The game saw City score first. After City scoring first, Arsenal came in through and leveled that game. I think it was through Gabriel Martinelli. After Gabriel Martinelli leveling the game, like 70 minutes into the game, guess what happens? Jesus, by then, was playing for City. He got the ball at the half line and obviously wanted to burst into space. Get what happens? The already yellow-carded Arsenal left-footed central defender, known as Gabriel Magalhaes, got hold of Gabriel Jesus by his shirt, and the referee flashed a red card to him. Arsenal put in a very good fighting effort that saw them even reach the 90th minute when they are still 1-1, but the corner kick was brought in and Rodri found himself beating Arsenal and getting City the win. So it was really a very close call. And when you look at Arsenal right now, they're a much more better team. They've added Zinchenko, they're having Jorginho, they're having Jakub Kiwior, they're having Fabio Vieira, Leandro Trossard, and I believe last season they never had a bench. And the first half of this season that we've played, that has seen them lead the table, they've been playing, but they never had a bench. But in the January transfer window, they didn't even brought in Trossard, Kivio, and Jorginho. I believe they're now having options that can really kill off this game. And there is news of Emily Smith-Rowe that he might take part into this game, and you're waiting to see how the manager is really going to go ahead and really brief us through the returnees into this game as Arsenal takes on a side known as Manchester City. So it's really going to be bad for Gabriel Jesus, because this is one of the games Gabriel Jesus would have liked to play at Emirates, moreover, because it is really what we call a title decider. This is a pure title decider, and Jesus knows it better, and he knows how to hurt these players. And obviously, these players of Man City are really afraid of Jesus, and it's like a breather that they are not having him. He's mobile, and he doesn't fear any of those, and he can take them on. They also know him very well. Because they trained with him for close to 5 years at City, but that makes a huge difference because this time around is in a team that he is seen as the face. He's seen as the poster boy. He's seen as the savior of the team. He leads the team. He is everything that Arsenal has done this season. That's why you see to it that when Arsenal had Jesus on the field of play in the first 14 games before into the World Cup, Arsenal won 13, Arsenal won 12, lost 1 and drew 1. This time around, they've only played half of the games they had played before they went to the World Cup. They've lost once, and they've lost against Everton, and they've drawn twice. So they've dropped many points without Jesus in just 7 games they've played. So it shows you the importance of Jesus coming into this game. So what does Mikel Arteta have to do? Arteta has to tell his boys that this is a do-or-die game. All what we want is a win. For Arsenal to put itself on the best side of not even giving City a chance, they should go on and really get a win. People are really concentrating on a draw, that it might end in draw. Yes, I also predicted that it might end in draw. But trust me, I believe Arsenal have an upper hand of winning this game of football. I've seen City play away. They are not an impressive team. They are not the Manchester City that they were last season. Even Arsene Wenger came out and hinted about it. I don't know whether I'll get time to go out and really craft out that story. But even Arsene Wenger said City is weakening. And the reason as to why City is weakening is because they lost Gabriel Jesus, they lost Sterling, and they lost Cancelo. Cancelo saw himself be part of close to 10, 15 goal contributions, all goal involvements in a season. Jesus would score like 13 a season and score and create like 10. That is a tally of close to 30 goals a season, and you've lost them. For Sterling, he always averaged 30 goals a season. Now, if you've lost close to 70 goal involvements in 3 players, you can't not drop off because you are losing a lot. And out of all those players, I think they've not gotten a replacement of any of those players. If I'm to be exact, even Zinchenko, the way Zinchenko played for Man City was really a way of not even allowing them to really think of an option of a left back or a central midfielder or what, because the manager even reflected after the game of Aston Villa, where they beat us by 3-1, that we played Bernardo Silva in that role. So we want him to be like Zinchenko, meaning that he knows he has not gotten Zinchenko back. So he's having lots of good players, but to get City to where they were last season, it's not going to be an easy job. And Arsenal finding City in a situation of blowing hot and cold. Away from home, the big teams they've played, I think they played away at Manchester United. We beat them, United, by 2-1. Away at Liverpool, they suffered a 1-0 loss at Anfield. Away at Tottenham Hotspur, they suffered a 1-0 loss. Away at Newcastle, they suffered a draw of 3-3, and they came from behind because that game was at one point 3-1. So it shows you that facing the teams in the Big Six, Man City has only secured a draw away at Newcastle. All of those teams I've talked about, I think Arsenal is the best team in the league. Now, City is paying a visit to a team that is the best in the league. That's it. Arsenal have a match. They've lost one and drawn one in their previous 2 games. That doesn't give City an easy go to Arsenal. And this is the reason as to why City should go ahead and really worry a lot. They should worry a lot because Arsenal is now looking like a wounded animal. A wounded animal. And they're going to throw everything at City to see to it that they win this game of football. And the battle is all going to be the midfield. And we saw a snippet of this when Arsenal was being beaten by City in the FA Cup. You remember Rodri versus Thomas Partey in that tournament. How does Arsenal lose out on the midfield battle? When Thomas Partey gets ribs problems, and by the time they never had Jorginho, they brought on Sambi Albert Lokonga, and you saw him exchange words with Odegaard on the field of play. Now, Arsenal really having even a backup of Thomas Partey. Even if Thomas Partey happens to get anything wrong, Jorginho will be available. Jorginho will come in through and get that job done and dusted. Trust me, he will. Now, there is no worry about what is happening right now at Arsenal because very many players are in. And when you look at how Arsenal has built itself up, they've gone ahead to destroy every team that is in the top 6 apart from Newcastle. They beat Manchester United 2-1, they beat Spurs 3-1, they beat Liverpool 3-2. They drew with Newcastle. But Newcastle was not committing itself. They are playing a very conservative game. This game totally fits Arsenal. Do you know why? City is not going to park the bus. City, from the word go, they are going to be getting that ball and taking it to Arsenal. That is the best thing Arsenal would love to go ahead and really experience, because Arteta would like to play a team that doesn't make it hard for him to score, like you saw Brentford. City is going to play high line. It's going to be like a game, score me 3, I score you 2. So that's why in my mind, I have a belief that the highest scorer is going to take it all, and who is really going to keep some good defensive discipline will go ahead and really get 3 points out of this game of football. But Arsenal have something to go ahead and really worry about. They rarely keep clean sheets at home. They've only kept clean sheets in 2 games. One of Nottingham and one of Newcastle. That of Nottingham ended 5-0. That of Newcastle ended 0-0. And every team, every big team that Arsenal has played at the Emirates has scored either 1 or 2 goals in that game. They first played Spurs. It ended 3-1. Spurs scored 1, and that game was at a point. Sorry about that. It reached a point. I think we ended the first half when that game was 1-1. We come in the second half. Jesus scores around the 56th minute, and then Spurs gets a red card. Obviously, Xhaka scores the 3rd one. When they're playing against Liverpool, Liverpool put 2 goals past them. Manchester United put 2 goals past them. So it shows you that City has the power to go on and really score goals or put goals past Arsenal. And Arsenal has the power to put goals past City, because City's away record when playing these teams that are big, they've gone ahead to concede very many goals. They conceded 3 goals at St. James's Park. They conceded 2 at Old Trafford. They conceded 1 at Anfield. And at Spurs, that is the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, they conceded 1. So it shows you that even City has not been looking good. But the return of Ruben Diaz might really add some water tightness into that central defense. But I believe Arsenal are really a team to really give a chance ahead of Man City, because they are home, they are hungry, and they know how to do this. They've been down in certain games, they've come back and leveled, and they've won them, especially that game they played against Manchester United, I think on the 15th, was it? It was on the 15th. I think it was the 15th of January when they came back and they really leveled the game and really won it against Manchester United. They're having a fighting spirit. Even without Gabriel Jesus, they're really looking good. But let's discuss about the battles that are really going to take part into this game and are going to be determinant on who is winning these games of football. The first battle is going to be in between Thomas Partey and Rodri. At Etihad, Thomas Partey looked like he had won this battle, but he really got out and has lost the game of football. But this time round, I believe Thomas Partey is fully fit to play 90 minutes. Even if Partey is injured, Jorginho will come in through and get the job done. That's it. Rodri is really a very good player, and he passes very well, but I think Thomas Partey is really having a better season than Rodri this time round, and you're going to see it in the combined 11 that is coming up in the next 3-4 hours. Then let's go to the battle of Riyad Mahrez and Zinchenko. That is really going to be so much exciting, because at Etihad, when Arsenal was playing the 4th round of the FA Cup, it was Kieran Tierney facing him, and Kieran Tierney never gave him a chance. And I've seen very many Arsenal fans calling in for Kieran Tierney to come in and start, but I believe it's going to be Zinchenko, and Zinchenko knows Mahrez a lot. He's not a novice to him, and he knows how to deal with him. So whoever wins that battle will be so much important in the win of his side. If Mahrez destroys Zinchenko, then Man City will have a lot to offer in this game. The other big battle, it is Martinelli and Kyle Walker, Old Trossard and Kyle Walker. I believe that is really going to be a hard one, because Kyle Walker is one of the fastest players, and Martinelli, if at all, starts one of the fastest players. But I believe Trossard gave them a game at Etihad in the FA Cup, and I believe if I'm Mikel Arteta, I start Trossard and bring on Martinelli as an impact player from the bench. So that's another one that's going to be so much exciting, but Martinelli has dipped in form. He's not the other Martinelli that was really up and running when the season started, before we went to the World Cup. From the World Cup, Martinelli is not the player he was. So I think Trossard can do a better job on destroying Kyle Walker than Martinelli. But obviously, even Kyle Walker is really good defensively, and his pace is really one of those attributes that has seen him play on that right back of Man City for a very long time, ever since they bought him from Spurs. Saka, Nathan Ake. Saka was marked out of play when Arsenal was playing City in the FA Cup, and he never delivered anything. He was pocketed. He was cooked and roasted. You know, Saka is known for cooking and roasting other fullbacks like a turkey, but this time around he was pocketed, roasted and cooked by Nathan Ake. He has a chance to go ahead and really make a statement, Nathan Ake, that I was having a bad day in office, and this time around I'm coming to you and I'm going to take you on. Will Saka take on Nathan Ake? Let's wait and see how that is going to pan out. Then, who is stopping Kevin De Bruyne? Is it Granit Xhaka? I think it's going to be Xhaka versus Kevin De Bruyne. He's going to be given a role to monitor Kevin De Bruyne or Odegaard. One of those, because Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri are the sparks into that midfield of Man City. If you mark them out very well, then everything will go out as planned according to Mikel Arteta. Haaland versus Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. It's another one that is really going to be too tight, too tight, because it's really a battle already won according to the performances that Arsenal put up, because even Rob Holding gave Haaland a game at the Etihad in the FA Cup. I believe Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes are really going to mark him out very well. And the only thing they should do is to stop the supply coming in from Kevin De Bruyne. But there is one thing that he did over the weekend that really showed me that Arteta is really a very decent coach and is improving Haaland, because Haaland puts in an assist for Ilkay Gundogan in a very fashionable way that is really un-Haaland. That is not Haaland. That's not Haaland, because he gets that ball. The goalkeeper has gotten off his line. Instead of him shooting, he goes to the byline and obviously puts in a curling cross to the far post using his weak right foot to find Gundogan, and Gundogan tapped that ball in the back of the net. So it shows you that he's adding more aspect to his game, and you never know, that might be his role in the game of Arsenal, because everyone will know that, all right, Haaland is coming in through. He's going to be waiting for deliveries from Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, all Mahrez, all Foden, all Jack Grealish would have started in the front three. But he might surprise them, and he might be given a different role altogether to see to it that he doesn't get marked out by the defense of Arsenal, because the more he stands as that number 9, I think he's causing more trouble to himself, and that doesn't really benefit him. So Grealish and Tomiyasu, all Ben White, I see no battle there. I believe the battles that are going to win this game of football are going to be between Thomas Partey and Rodri, Mahrez, Zinchenko, Haaland versus Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, Nathan Ake versus Saka, Martinelli or Trossard versus Rico Lewis or Kyle Walker. One will ask me, Rokani, why haven't you talked about Nketiah? You know, Nketiah has not yet reached that level of threatening these people, the defense of Man City, but he can score goals against them, but he's not going to be all that impactful in this game. It will depend on how Arsenal behave on the day, you get, and who is going to mark Odegaard, because Odegaard is really another player that is really on form, though in the previous games has not been okay. But the game of Brentford, the goal that Arsenal scores, it's that beautiful pass that he lays for Bukayo Saka towards the byline, and that cross is delivered on the far post. Trossard nets in the back of the net. So it shows you how good this is, and it is really important to see it that really Arsenal is winning this game of football or Man City. But preferably, I'm going for an Arsenal win, and I think the best City can get from this game is a draw. Because Arsenal knows it. If they are beaten, they're out of the first position. City takes over. Mikel Arteta wouldn't like to see that. So we are going to see a very beautiful game of football from two managers that believe in the same philosophy, though the other one just twisted a little bit. Arteta increased the intensity and the directness. City just pass that ball and wait for the best to come out of that game of football. So that's it that I had for you as the match preview. So tell me what you think about this game of football. My prediction is preferably an Arsenal win. City's best result is going to be a draw, according to me. I don't see City getting a win at Emirates. I don't see them getting it, because this is going to be like a match final, and Arsenal are going to put their bodies on the line. They are going to get out all the possible weapons to face this City side. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. I've done my work, job preview done. Then your reactions are welcome in the comment section below. And a sign out for now. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. I'm out, my mates. But remember, Arsenal are winless in this fixture. That's it. And Manchester City are the only side Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has failed to beat in the Premier League, losing all 5 of his meetings with the team. So Mikel Arteta has faced Pep Guardiola 5 times in the Premier League, and he has not been able to really beat him. Arsenal had a player sent off in both legs. By the way, let's think about this before I sign out. In the first leg of last season, 2021-2022, Xhaka was sent off in that 5-0 thriller. Then, in the game at Emirates, Gabriel Magalhaes was sent off. So, in the previous 2 games, they were sent off. And Arsenal have lost their 8 Premier League games against reigning champions. So, their 8 Premier League games have been lost against reigning champions. And who is the reigning champion? It's Man City. But I'm not giving him a chance. I'm giving Arsenal a chance to win this game of football. The best result for City is going to be a draw. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. That has been my match preview of Arsenal versus Man City. I'm out.